G'day guys, we're back doing another show. We got Bez here.
What's happening?
He's a chef. We got Rich Fogarty.
Oh!
Newcastle's best MMA boxing trainer, pad holder. Yeah. Well, Shano's the best pad holder, I think.
Shano's.
Rich is the one with the best knowledge, and the man himself, Mark Hunt.
Hey, what's up? What's happening?
I just thought I'd kick it off. And Mark, what are you up to in Newcastle? How long have you been here now, and what's going on?
I've been here a couple of weeks now. I've just been hanging out with Richie, trying to make this new porn movie, so...
I've seen shorts, it looks good.
I've just been up here training, just trying to get back into training with Rich. On and off, a couple of weeks here, drive home, see the kids. Yeah, the kids are up at the moment with me, so it's good.
Where's home? Big Smoke, yeah, Sydney?
Campbelltown. My wife's from Campbelltown, but I actually really enjoy Newcastle. Newcastle's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty laid back. It's different times for it, but it's been good. Has Rich been showing you around much?
It's not really that much to look at. I've been just driving out, checking out the beaches.
Rascals.
Yeah, I was going to say, a mate of mine owns Rascals. I messaged him the other day. I said, how are you holding up, Timmy? And he said, yeah, good. He said, best thing is my favourite UFC fighter, Mark Hunt's been in here every day eating my burgers. I said, right.
Yeah. Just the burger patties, not the burger, not the bun itself.
Not the bread, just the burger. Burger and lettuce.
He was stoked at that. He said, yeah, that's the fucking best. So I figure you boys introduced him to that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you've PT'd with me for a while, so, and I said to Mark to go and see Rascals and have a bit of a look if you want a clean burger.
Yeah.
And,
I love Rascals. Nice place.
Yeah,
you rated highly?
Very highly, yeah.
I rated 6, yeah.
Yeah, the patties are really nice. I like it to clean. I only on this carnivore diet, to be honest. So having just meat, to be honest,
Yeah, sweet. Because we're going to hit Timmy up for some cash for giving his business such a
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I've never met him, but I'll still hit him up. I reckon I know.
Yeah, is he giving out loans? Yeah.
That's all for a good plug on his business right now.
He's got extra spare burger buns if you want to eat any buns, so maybe you can pay some else.
With the buns, probably use them as frisbees,
Yeah, so do you see, once everything clears up and everything, what do you got on the agenda? I know, is there still any talks with the UFC, or you think that's done now, or you look at boxing or something like that, or?
Yeah, I've been done with that company for a while now. I think it's like 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 lawsuits against that company, so there's a lot to say about that company being such crooked little grubs, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can spend the whole day talking about
like 4 of the cunts you fought, they've tested for enhancement substances.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5.
4 out of 5?
It's just so annoying. You don't get an even playing field these days, especially at the highest end, And that's what's so sad about the hockey. All those guys aren't even employees. They're subcontractors.
Yeah.
So one of the lawsuits I'm in is
Who's that?
Is that Dana ringing in?
Got you live, mate.
if it was,
Cut the stream.
if it was, I'd say, fuck you, come with my money. No, they're not even employees, they're subcontractors. So one of the lawsuits I'm in, we're trying to get the Ali Act, which is a lot to do with transparency, why they're not employees of the companies. They don't get the benefits of being employees. They've been fighting it for like 6 years now. It's costed them about $80 million.
Yeah, right. And so how the fuck does someone like Brock, who any kind of dog can tell is on shit, how do they not test him before a fight?
They did probably, but the thing about that is you can look at someone and say he could look like Godzilla and everything, but you can't take your thoughts into the courtroom or anything like that. You can't just say, well, the whole world knew that he was on the juice. Are you blind? So I'm going to go into the courtroom and say, I knew he was on the gear. The judge goes, do you have any proof? I could just tell. Oh, really? And I could tell you're dumb. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. People don't understand. They keep saying, anyone could tell he was on the gear. But that's the thing, though. You could say that in your mind, but you don't actually know till you go and take blood from the person.
Yeah.
So that's the other lawsuit. We just filed the appeal papers for it. They've got like 4 weeks to reply with those papers and see where we go. We either go to trial or a settlement. Like I said, I like to see those guys go to jail, but they've got plenty of money, and We'll see how it goes with it.
Yeah, it seems like, if you got money, it keeps you out of fucking jail.
Wow, look at that pedo little cocksucker. What's
Yeah,
his name?
exactly.
Hell. Yeah. How did he get off?
It's fucking bullshit. Money and influence. And, it's fucking bullshit. But, out of, I was curious to ask all the UFC fighters at the moment, who would be your favourite matchup? Would you like to see like Conor and Khabib again? Do you think Conor stands a chance?
I don't even find the UFC interesting anymore.
Nah.
I don't even bother. I stopped watching it a long time ago. I lost interest like 4 years ago while I was working for the company because, being a part of the company was such an uphill battle to even try and get an even playing field.
Yeah.
Working for that company and always asking for more money. These guys are getting taken advantage of big time.
Yeah.
The fighters that are working for them now, they all know they're getting paid, I think it's 4% of the whole revenue.
Yeah, it's bullshit, isn't it?
Whereas the gridiron players and these other players, they get 40% of the revenue. You can see the difference in money-wise.
Yeah, because it looks like it's marketed really well. You'd assume the fighters are getting way more, and then you see what Conor gets for a boxing match, and then he goes back to UFC and fucking nothing compared to that. Yet the marketing power the UFC has, I feel it's completely taken over boxing.
Yeah, it's mainstream, but the benefits aren't given to those fighters.
The fighters aren't seeing any of that.
You'll only get a part of the pay-per-view if you get the belt.
Yeah.
And then even then you're going to be struggling to make $1.
Yeah.
They were saying, want $1. They were saying, no, you get 50 cents. So, it just becomes like that. It becomes so no fighter gets a part of the pay-per-view unless they got the belt.
Yeah.
Guys like Conor that are on a different level can call their own shots.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's made his mark. He's made his money. So, and no, for myself, I think I have a lot of respect for that guy. He's crossed codes. No one can do that, especially he's crossed code to the highest paid athlete in the world ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Who does that?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
He deserves everything he gets, but with the other fighters, I think it's just the raw. They're just getting screwed, and the guys that actually run the company just make it all the money. Like I said, 4% is to 40%. It's a total scam.
When you were there smashing it out, were you enjoying yourself at the time, or was it?
Well, it's a means to an end. Fighting for me was a means to an end. It was about getting paid and giving more options to my family and stuff. So it was something that I felt becoming a prize fighter. I felt it was God's gift to me. That's the way I looked at it as a believer of Christ, to a certain extent. But fighting has always been a way to make ends meet, make money. I don't like to get punched in the face for nothing.
That's right. That's super honest too. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, I'm just in it for the love."
I don't know whoever says that. They need a good hiding themselves.
Well, I didn't say it. I trust it wasn't
No, I'm serious. Guys that say I do this for the passion, I do it for love. Dude, I've seen a lot of hungry artists, bro. A lot of fighters that chase the whole dream to get to this level just to fall by the wayside because they don't. In the fighting, I know only the best eat at the table. Only the best.
That's why I was curious. I've mentioned it a million times. NRL fighters, players like that, that jumping in, getting main event fights. Paul Gallen and Barry Hall. I thought the pub was packed for it, like shockers for it. Yeah, I think it was 4 2-minute rounds. And I thought if you're going to be fighting at that level, taking pay-per-views off people that have been training their whole fucking life to get to that level, it just feels like a bit of a...
No one knows them.
That's
the thing. Like main event, and my brother and I have gone to main event with cards, celebrity cards, and they're not interested in the traditional boxers.
Yeah, exactly.
All there is pay-per-view. So if you've got 2 maths contestants who have got 3 million views, they want them to get in the ring and fight because then that pays for the pay-per-view. The normal boxing. It's sad because the ones who have been at the game for 10 years, 20 years...
working their ass off. And they can't get a pay-per-view stint because no one knows them. Yeah, and that's what I mean, for a main event bout to be 4 2-minute rounds, I always compare it to something like, Daniel Gill and Rob Medley saying, we want to play State of Origin this year because we've got nothing to do, but we'll just play 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It'd be the same sort of thing, jumping on the biggest fucking stage there is.
Yeah.
They haven't paid their dues like all these other fighters have.
And there's only a few that have done the cross-coding, like the MMA side of things, but Gallen's gone from rugby league to boxing.
Yeah.
Mundine, rugby league to boxing. So those sort of things, Garth Woods, back in the day, he played for South, so that was like rugby league to boxing.
What did he win? contender.
He won a
or the-
contender.
Yeah, he won a contender and then,
Mundane, didn't he?
He
Yeah.
beat Mundane
Beat,
once, but
knocked-
then lost the second.
That's all I know about
which is
boxing.
even that was disputable, but yeah, no.
But he got a
that's-
good payday for the second, so
Yeah,
you can't
100%.
blame him for taking it.
100%.
But yeah, Mundane's probably, I guess, in a different kettle of fish. He did well. He fought.
Well, he's like just a lower version of Conor McGregor. He just
He's a
he,
very
talk,
good
he talked a lot of
self-promoter.
trash,
Yeah.
and he's a good salesperson. He's a good showman.
Yeah.
And that's what people. He got both sides of the coin. People who hated him and wanted him to get beat, the ones who loved him and wanted him to win.
Well, yeah, you had more people at the pub wanting him to lose.
Yeah, but
Than
that's
you wanting him to win. It's
but
fucking
that's
hilarious.
in the reverse psychology.
making
All
him
that's
rich.
that's where it's making money, you know.
Yeah,
Sitting
yeah.
bums on seats.
He'd be one of the few I'd say that doesn't fall into that kettle of fish. You know, he fought good people. He did the 3-minute rounds and things like that. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. The last one I watched Hall and yelling that it was 4 2-minute rounds. It's like, semi-main event. Surely you should have to do at least.
We were down there, weren't we? We were down there in
We had fun.
at ringside watching it, and even that I thought Gallon would knock Barry out, but to me, it was 2-minute rounds, so that's amateur fighting.
Exactly.
It should have been 3 minutes, and then the referee pulled them apart for 30 seconds every round, so they only really got 1.5 minute rounds for 6 rounds, and got paid $500,000 each.
Yeah, it's
You know?
insane.
So,
Fucking insane.
at
And
the
I
end of-
doubt either of them. I think there's some young up-and-coming boxers that would need that money a bit more than them. But as you said, it puts bums on seats. We had it downstairs in the pub for main event, and it was fucking chockers.
Yeah.
It was fucking hectic in here that night.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting concept, but that's where I feel like boxing's going in Australia anyway.
Yeah, or they just want celebrity bouts.
Yeah.
They want people who they know, who's in live stream media all the time. They don't want the who are those people? They don't want it because it doesn't pay money.
Yeah.
People are not going to turn up to watch boxing.
Yeah,
who they
well,
don't know.
Horn and Zarafa, for instance, we got fuck all people in for that.
Yeah,
No one come in.
they probably thought Zarafa was going to beat Horn again
Yeah.
in the
it
second
was
bout,
fucking- it was dead, and they're two dedicated fighters, and we had triple the amount of people in for Gallon versus Hall.
Yeah.
It's funny like that.
and it
but,
gets to what you say in the media as well. Like Horn's just a placid dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't really create too much controversy.
yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Daniel Gill there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of these high-profile boxers and fighters in their own right are the best on the planet.
Yeah.
Yet because they don't speak out on social media and no one knows them, they don't get the benefits, which is a bit
It's
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's a business where
More-
you got to
more-
self-promote.
yeah.
Like Conor McGregor is fucking.
Yeah, well, that's why he gets paid, because everyone's interested to see him
and
lose
again,
and
there's a
win.
ton of people that come here to watch him lose.
Yeah, and that's the if you've got that knack as a fighter to have your haters as equal as all your followers and supporters, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
You're going to make money.
Exactly.
You can't just have all people who love you, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not going to feel it.
Unless you're back in the day where there was nothing else like social media and Fennick was fighting. Fennick used to glue everyone to the seats because he was just a true fighter and brawler.
Wasn't he? Yeah,
you know?
he's fucking. I love watching his flashbacks. He puts them up.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it.
I've been
he's-
following his social media. He's been smashing it with photos.
Yeah.
Old school photos.
And he's one of the old time, in my eyes, he's one of the old time greats. I still remember sitting with my old man on the lounge watching his fights back in the day,
Yeah. And he was, he's always branded himself well. Like, he's had his name on a lot of products too.
Oh, yeah,
He's
for good and bad.
Yeah,
Controversy and bad, but-
Fanny boxing bag when I was in year 9.
Yeah, 100%. But then come along, Costa Zoo but even Jeff Harding. Like Jeff Harding never said anything on the media, but he won the WBC title and never was heard of again.
Yeah, I don't think you'd find anyone on the street that knows who he is.
Oh, on the street you would, because he would have been in the park before last. Back in the day, with alcoholism and all the rest of it, which is, that's where it takes them, which is the saddest part. But
we had a bloke in here once on the piss convinced me he was Jeff Harding. He said, no, he wasn't. Because we had to end up kicking him out, and I said, boys, he's been telling me he's
free
Jeff
drinks.
Harding.
Ended up being a woman.
And then anyway, I thought, before I have to drag this cunt out, I have to Google him. What's the fucking I had a bit more confidence dragging him out after that.
street filthy.
Yeah, he was adamant he was Jeff Harding. I was like,
I don't need to check your IDs too, boys.
It said Google Jeff Harding now. Now, you'll not even get the fuck out. But you get some crazies in here. But, I was watching an interview the other day, Mark, and it was saying, you're into the gaming a lot. Are you still doing that?
No. I had a gaming account for like over 20 years, and I used to play a game called Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's the one I heard. Yeah, so you're not doing that no more.
No, I got fed up with him cheating, so I started cheating myself. I was like, fuck, I was sick of these guys. Fuck, this guy's cheating.
How are they cheating? What?
So they download hacks and they can see through doors. They don't get flashed when you flash them.
Yeah, right.
So this motherfucker's cheating. And I was like, just fuck up. And I was like, you know, fuck this. I downloaded a cheat. And I started walking around doors, just shooting through doors. There he is. And then, you know, the funny thing was, you meet a whole different level of cheaters there. I had this guy who was cheating for like 5 years, and he was like the top cheater in the fucking on the game like this. And then they go, that guy is the best cheater in the game. I was like, what the fuck? I don't mean this guy. And then they banned my account, so I don't play anymore.
They banned your account?
Well, they caught me cheating because I was just walking around and boom, there it is.
Did you get any strife, or was it all?
I didn't really care because I just got fed up and I was sick of it when they were saying I was shitty. Like, yeah, and what? What are you going to do about it?
Were you playing under your name, Mark Hunt?
No, I played under my General Insane, my name was. My alter ego is called General Insane or Slain. And Slain is an old ABC character, so he used to ride this dragon. Old school.
Yeah, nice. So what do you do now with your spare time when you're not training or?
I eat a lot of cake and watch a lot of porn. No, I just try to get myself back into shape because of this.
It was late 2018. Was that your last fight?
It was a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago.
2018 or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I've had a few offers of different companies, bare knuckle, all this sort of jazz. But decided to fight back home. Boxing here made more sense, which was really good. So.
Yeah.
And the offer was good, and the only thing that stuffed it up was which is what happened to everyone, was the COVID. So which is
it's put everything on hold for It's fucking crazy.
It's good for you. That's the busiest I've ever seen. The pub downstairs.
Yeah. It gives us an excuse now for being empty. Before we had no one to blame, it was just our marketing.
Yeah, I've had blowing up.
Yeah.
I've got I'm so dead at the moment. Go back and blame it on the old.
Everyone blames it on COVID.
But I don't know. You see a lot of people doing some innovative shit and rolling with the punches, which is cool.
You got all businesses, gyms, and that going on?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've got. I'm doing a lot of business stuff, which is we were supposed to roll out one. We got 3 gyms. We were supposed to roll out one gym, which is at the Eastern Quarter. But
you're not involved in the. Is it the Grange one?
No, it's the Grange. I'm not with the. Our gyms are called Livewell.
The
brand is called Livewell, so the 24-hour facilities. So the third one was just at the new Eastern Creek Quarter in Eastern Creek, but that got put on hold and didn't even get a chance to open it. So
you got 3 on hold at the moment.
One, the other 2 opening. Recovery centre. We've got a barber shop. There's a few businesses where we're doing,
nice.
which is good.
Yeah, Rich said you had a barber shop. It's my friend cut your hair the other day at Urban Empire.
Yes, good spot.
So are they still allowed to keep cracking barbershops? And
they stitched it up a little bit. They said fucking barbershops can stay open, but you're allowed 30 minutes max. And then so all these barbershops said, we can't fucking do a good haircut in that. And they closed.
You can't just go.
Urban
Empire.
30 minutes. He's the only job we can do in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And then 48 hours later, after a ton of them had closed down, ScoMo came back on and said, actually, no, you can do longer than 30 minutes. So I was like, fuck.
He had to think about his hair. Hang on a second.
He's Barbara Running.
He's like, you know, haircut.
You get around telly every night.
I bet you went home and his missus went, are you serious?
She's a barber, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. She wouldn't have liked it. She would have went, get your ass back there and say more than half an hour.
So that was funny. He backflipped on that, and then, but a lot of them had closed in that 48 hours because, as you know, a lot hairstyles and that, all the fades and shit, it's big business. You fuck up someone's hair, and blokes, it's different now. Blokes, they know exactly what they fucking want. Kayla's operating Urban, I think, just a few days a week now, bookings only. There's no walk-ins anymore.
It's tough times, man. Everything's closed.
Good spot, but everyone's, like you said, got to roll the punches and do different stuff. All the small businesses are getting freaking screwed.
Yeah.
Well,
how long can the government keep this up? $1,100 a fortnight to people.
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But even the breweries are coming in with sanitizer. They've changed from doing beers to sanitizer.
Distilling Co. I went there the other day. We had some on
Speaking of which,
the show. Yeah, but if you're going to buy some, go to Distilling Co. in Carrington. They were a gin distillery and pumping out more fucking sanitizer than any gin we've ever done.
You got
around the corner.
to do what you got to do in these times, right?
So it's pretty cool to see business adapt like that, and they've helped a lot of people too. I went in there the other day for a chat, and it's good shit to see.
Yeah, it is. Well, my missus is a pharmacist, and they've been running out of hand sanitizer for ages. So
You're just trying to brag that you got a missus.
She didn't. She wasn't going to let me come, so I just yeah, sweet.
Yeah, 100%. That and the war on toilet paper, that's been the biggest thing.
I've got a heap if anyone wants some. It's jumbo rolls if she's needed.
Yeah,
Bro, I just went to the opposite. I just went straight to the nappies.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Fucking put the nappies on, walk around with the shit in my pants. I can just offload it in the street.
Yeah, because people are buying all the baby
100%.
nappies, aren't they? They're still the adult nappies.
Yeah, I thought I was smart once all the toilet paper. When I went straight to the babies to see if there's any baby wipes, I didn't even know we're gone. So I was straight into the medium, actually the large baby nappies then after that.
Yeah, not a bad rack.
With my package.
Yeah, nice. And so what do you got? How long are you in Newcastle for now?
Probably another. I'll probably stay for another couple of months.
Yeah.
I'm just Airbnb and probably get another spot after this somewhere.
You didn't want to stay with Rich?
He did.
I did already
He did
before.
one night.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
enough. One night's enough. Even an hour's enough for this guy.
I know, that's why when I do PT, it's only the half an hour.
Let me clarify that. Why he does PTs for half an hour, because he gets there 10 minutes late. He only does 20 minutes. Don't go talking it up. Bro.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. Half an hour, lock me keys, can't find my keys. The misso told me to get fucked, so she's left me. I can't get there.
I have a list of excuses.
I got a book, bro. I always turn to which excuses you use today.
What day is it?
Tuesday excuse day.
Haley McCloy's been helping me out with excuses too.
Yeah, 100%.
She owns a Lucky Hotel down the road, and yeah, she trains with Rich.
Difference is that she pays. She pays.
She can afford it. She has a successful hotel. She runs a successful hotel down the road. I run the Crown Anchor.
True that.
So, yeah.
So 10 weeks of training, or what supposed to be 10 weeks what the camp was, but
It's got to be fucking hard staying motivated when there's no sort of goal at the moment.
Have you applied for selling or any of that business? Are you getting... You're just like everyone else, yeah? You get self-employed or...
Yeah, no, I haven't applied for it, but I don't think times will be that tough. I don't even think it's going to last 6 months.
You know, reckon?
Fucking hope not.
I don't think it's going to last 6 months. I think we'll be all getting our guns out, our AKs out, if that goes that far.
Singapore's back to normal now. Like even Sunday night I watched the news and it was Singapore had nine weeks lockdown, and now everyone's back. Gyms are open. They're all back working. So Singapore's obviously it's hot over there where the virus isn't sort of at its peak when it's cold, but Singapore's back to normal after 9 weeks. So we're 2 weeks into this sort of half closed down, so to speak. But
we're pretty much running out of mates to call to come in for a podcast, so the shorter the better, yeah?
That's what they call us in the last resource.
I was talking to the UFC that they were still going to try to do the Khabib fight, the thing like that, but there's nothing like that going on in Australia, is there, for
everything. Fight nights.
On hold, everything.
Fight nights or negotiating with Mark and Paul Gallen.
I think a good thing to do, try and do, is do an event like in the gym. You know, broadcast the fight pay-per-view. That might be a good idea without an audience. Was
WrestleMania, did that run yesterday? I'm pretty sure it ran yesterday.
That'd be a good idea, I'd say. I mean, a guy named, you remember Adam Watt?
Yeah.
He did that. He wanted to do that while he had this gym in Manly a long time ago. He goes, you know, we're going to do a fight in the gym, stream it, pay-per-view it. You know, people are going to the two fighters going to come, have it like this, but no crowd.
Yeah.
That's another good idea.
Well, Mundine's last fight, who did he fucking fight? John Wayne, that was a stream thing.
Yeah.
It was fucked because we had to put it on my laptop and put it onto the pub TV. It was lagging and shit. No one really come to watch it anyway, but yeah, that was streamed. And, so yeah, it could definitely work.
I think it will work in years to come, and probably sooner rather than probably later, but it will get there. Then you'll have a big monopoly of all streaming events, people who've got streaming companies will then go on streaming.
Yeah, you have to think they're working around the clock. You'd have to.
But then again, that may be a good thing where then it's a bidding war who's going to stream it for what price. So then those two fighters that are fighting in the ring may get top dollar because they've got the best.
They'll sign to whoever's streaming. They'll sign to that company there or that company there. They'll just say, I'm on offer. They'll see the contract.
They may only do it with two people in the boxing ring.
And they could end up fighting from home, one in his living room.
Yeah, why not?
But even that Zoom, I'd never heard of Zoom 2 weeks ago, and I think it's been brought up in every fucking conversation.
Yeah, because I think it's just multiple people you can talk to.
Like house party, that's the same thing like house party.
So there's things like that will flourish, and I guess doing a boxing event streaming it's different to what the NRL tried with no crowds because you've still got what 26 blokes there. Whereas boxing, it's two people a ref, and then you got your
but then you got main event who's been monopoly over all the streaming pay-per-views over the last umpteen years, and now the streaming companies are coming on board for a cheaper price and still going into pubs and clubs. Now main event, that's why they're trying to look for which has got the most notable people to fight each other. Whether they know how to fight, but this will be the crowds to watch. I mean, we had a card, absolutely would have streamed who knows how many pay-per-views at one stage last year.
Married at first sight, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had two from MAFS, we had two rugby league players, we had two original great boxers, heavyweights, and main event knocked it on the head. Because they said, no, you can only go through two promoters to say yes. And those two promoters were our competition. So why would they say yes?
Yeah, exactly.
But now because those two promoters weren't doing that good of pay-per-views, then Danny Green stepped up with the Gull and Barry Hall. Then main event went, hang on, we'll just allow it to everyone now again.
Yeah.
So, man, it is what it is, but
it's sort of like back in the day when Tab was the only operator.
Yeah.
And they had this monopoly. Now you got fucking everyone. And
now there's
so many bonus bets you can get.
Oh, give me bonus. Hey, thank God the races are still on, bro.
Yeah, well,
I can still feed the kids. Still feed the kids with the races.
I got some good tips the other day. 6 out of 7 of Rob's.
Yeah, bro.
So speaking of which, when's my bet on the Punters Club boys? I'm not too sure. That's just for the boys watching. I don't really.
Mate, keep it.
Watching, message me.
Don't waste the boys' fucking time.
Time here is no money.
On the clock.
So you name dropped your missus and you fucking.
Punters Club.
This is that bat behind you is looking good.
Whoever falls on his
There's a reason I'm sitting over here.
Eerie silence then.
Right.
What else we got?
I'm not saying this picture of Conor looks just like James Dean. That's a really.
That was a little bit.
I reckon that's what he was sort of going at, I reckon, on that one.
Yeah, I like the toothpick. I was wondering whether that was his idea or they said you look cooler with a toothpick.
I think that was Benson Henderson's. He was always with a toothpick.
Well, these days everyone's got those bad pictures of the cigarettes and shit. So.
Cigarette. I don't know, likes to play up. I like the quote on it. That's why I got it. But I'm staying here now, so I didn't want to wreck any of the walls. So I'm just been sitting in different places and.
It's a cute little spot you got here.
It's good. So
how many podcasts have you done already?
We've done a few now. How many have you pumped out? Fucking. Yeah, 5, so up to nearly 10 now. And we got a few more later on the Sabo that we're shooting.
No, week by week. Weekly.
Oh yeah, they'll be week by week.
There you go.
I don't know.
That's for the punters.
That's it's been good. It's been a goal for ages, and I just never had time to do it. And then with everything fucking not happening, I thought, no time like the present, get out of the comfort zone a little bit.
It's going to be on Apple TV and stuff, the podcast?
Hopefully.
Because you have all the different podcasts, you can just go on Apple TV and you guys.
Yeah, well, that's what
Areas,
we're looking
different
into
genre.
now.
18 plus. Won't be no kids podcast, bro.
We'll try. From what I can see, Netflix will buy anything, so we're gonna
Bush, we need to get our
push this
freaking-
interview to them. We can throw into porno you boys have been making. And but at the moment we've just been streaming to our Facebook pages and things like that.
And
But
the
yeah,
Punters Club.
and
the Punters Club.
Punters Club. Who's part of the Punters Club? It's
Yeah, you want to name the cunts in the Punters Club?
I can't remember.
I don't even think you're fucking in one at all. And I don't think you have a missus either. Yeah. So he's meant to be at the shop buying groceries. Yeah, sorry, you lost me train of thought now.
Where did you get this air conditioning from? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's like the most coolest air conditioning ever. I mean, honestly,
Antarctic air.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's fucking shocking, isn't it? There's nothing I can say about it. We tried to get some ducted put in here, but we got no windows, so we're looking at getting. You can't see the cameras, but
Those are just. What are those covering up?
it is just walls, but just make it look sort of Joe Rogan-y.
Oh, make it look like there's windows here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Look, I thought there was windows behind there.
Did it work?
Yeah, I thought there was windows behind there.
No, there is. Yeah, there is.
Stained glass windows.
Yeah, no, it's like it's church windows. Yeah, so we are looking to get some aircon in. We just need to get some sponsors for the show first, so we can afford some aircon. Because at the moment, we all had to chip in $5. And get that.
I like the podcast.
Arctic Air, yeah, we'll give them a shout out. So,
Empty one bottle of water already.
That's probably the best thing in the room, that little thing. Besides the McGregor picture.
And the beer.
Yeah, we got some Murray's beers. Angry Man. So I thought fitted the podcast.
Nice. I'm wanting to try one then, bro.
Yeah, crack into it, bro. You training the Sabo?
Training, I've got the week off this week. We just got to just have a bit of a spell. He's been going sort of 3 weeks just full on.
Yeah.
So, and as I say, there's no goals or anything at the moment. So, you just sort of don't need to go killing yourself.
Yeah.
If we're in 10 weeks, if we're still in the 10-week camp, would be still training morning and night. But this week, Mark's...
You obviously probably can't do any sparring or nothing yet, can you?
No, we haven't even looked at that. We've just been, mainly first 3 weeks have been just doing the fitness. The fitness side of things and just seeing, because we haven't trained, with Mark sort of on a boxing term, so it's just sort of getting a little different things. I mean, you can't teach him nothing new because he's been around the game and knocking people out for 20 years, so it's just a matter of trying to get what his opponent's game plan's going to be, and with our knowledge and sort of creating a team with the strength and conditioning coaches and just a lot of different things and just make a little bit of a team together, and that's what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks. So.
Practicing the walk-off?
Practicing the walk-off, the big boom.
Miss the walk-off. No one does it like you. I've seen others try it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. No, I was watching your top 5 walk-offs last night. I fucking love it.
I think
Who was a tall lengthy dude?
that was Struve, wasn't it? Struve, the big
that was
Struve.
fucking beautiful, that hook you put on him. Oh, shit.
I think it was, one of Frank Mir up in Brisbane. He goes to walk off. Then
Gotta get the T-Rex arms up.
it goes. There's been a few walk-offs.
What's your favourite, most memorable, proudest fight you've had? What's the fight you're most proud of?
It's probably the fight that I'm having now.
Yeah?
Yeah, the fight that I'm having now with the UFC.
What round is it?
Well, we're in overtime right now, They won the first 5 rounds and we're on the second half now, the second
Walked
quarter.
off yet?
Not yet, but it's coming, it's coming.
No, well, I think we'd all like to fucking see
It's
that.
coming, so,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it'll be good for the future up-and-comers, for all the boys and girls coming through to the sport. The sport is mainstream right now, so when this is all back to normal, hopefully.
And I guess the youngins, it's hard for them to take a stand like you're...
Well, they can't.
Because they'll get fucking crushed for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it's like someone's got to go and do it, but everyone's like, oh, we're with you, but we'll just stand back here and we'll support you from here.
Yeah.
Because if you go down, we're not with you. Cool.
If you win, we'll jump in the photo.
That's it.
Send you a BSB and account details.
I get that. That's fine. That's how it works. But
Yeah.
But there's always been, in history gone by, there's always been that one person who's taken a stance to go forward for the other generations to keep coming forward. So, and that's what I've said about Mark as well. He's that voice, even though it mightn't seem like everyone's behind him now and they've got to watch their situations because it's their livelihoods that they might be jumping out of. But Mark's, he's done what he is. He's one of the truest fighters that's on the planet at the moment, who are having their speaking the truth, and that only will do better for the generations coming through. And it may be 10 years down the track, but when people say, oh well, now we've got 40% rights for our fights because it was Mark Hunt 10 years ago is the one who led the way.
Put his ass on the line.
And you see a lot of the guys who hang around with Mark and us, and we talk about the lead horse, and yes, Mark's the lead horse in the fight game, which all the young ones looked up to go that way, but he's also the lead horse that's leading the way for the next generation of fighters, whether they know him or not, to get paid realistically what the boxers are getting paid, or even just paid what they're owed.
Yeah.
They're putting their life on the line.
Well, look at it. If you make it to the top end, you should be getting paid whatever you deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
Guys, you can get money like Conor. You can get great money that you deserve because you've earned you've given your blood and all this shit for the sport. You've gone there. You should make the money you deserve to get.
And not to mention, after that, you've still got to pay everyone else in your fucking team, and then you got to watch out for the sharks floating around you as well. So
yeah, man, the tax man they don't let no one go. There's one thing that's certain: is taxes and death. That's what you know.
Yeah.
That's what we all know. We got to pay our taxes, and you're going to die anyway. So at the end of the day, if this thing works out, it works out for a lot for the kids, the boys and girls coming through.
Yeah.
Because it'll make it easier for them.
Yeah.
Because that's the idea of it all. I mean, otherwise, what's the point of doing it? I mean, people can sit and complain about working for this company, but that's all they're doing. It's just hanging off the wall. What are you going to do after that? You got to do something about it. You just can't.
Take action.
The reason I did it because I was sick of having an unfair fighting field. There's no point in going to fight there. You can make this amount of money and then say, well, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, and you're putting your life on the line every time you fucking get in there.
Yeah, of course. Because, I mean, it's not fair. These guys are cheating and nothing happens about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the UFC says they have the best testing policy, the best policy about all this drugs and everything. Yeah, they do, but do they enforce it? No. They enforce it when they want to enforce it.
Yeah.
We asked them to enforce the things, they said no, we'll do it when we want to do it. Okay, so you're actually just full of shit.
Yeah.
People ask me about the previous companies I worked for, and I said, well, at least they weren't lying about it. They didn't have no testing policy to the whole, hey, we've got the best testing policy, we've got Jeff Davinsky here with us who caught last time, so we've got all these fucking cocksuckers, but we're not enforcing our shit.
Yeah.
We only enforce it when it does us good, when we want to make money. Not when you want to do it, when we say.
So have you copped much grief about taking a stand like this? As many people
Always. I don't really, to be honest, I don't really give a shit what people think about me.
Yeah,
All I'm standing for is what's right, what's the truth. And the truth is, I know they're fucking cheaters, they're crooks.
Very cool.
All the way down to the bottom line. If they don't know it and all the owners of it, then that's it. There's no way you can go wrong if you know that if you're right.
Yeah.
There's no way you can ever go wrong if you're right.
Because they got a lot of high-profile investors and shit now, don't they?
And they're even more grubs. They got money and all that.
And things like that. Part owners now, aren't they?
These guys have got money anyway, and yet they own part of this company. They say, well, you should know what's happening with your company, right? Or you just get more money so you can buy more helicopters and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many helicopters does a cunt need?
exactly. You want to have, I mean, Tony Robbins, all these motherfuckers, they all got plenty of money anyway. I'm thinking, well, do you know you guys are making bank off these guys? These slaves are getting punched in the face. You know, pure example, I've been in a fight with Bigfoot. I was in hospital taking photos. There was like 8 of us in the hospital, all fucked up. All at Pittons, I saw another fighter, Dan Hooker, fighting with another guy. They were both in hospital, and his title of that was just making crumbs for the family or whatever, something along their lines. I'm like, yep, you're making crumbs, all right? Because that's what they're giving you.
Yeah.
They're giving you crumbs. They're not giving you what you're supposed to be getting. They're giving you what they feel they should give you. It's a rip-off. It's a rort, and that's why we're standing up for these things.
Yeah.
We're trying to change the landscape.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, well, hopefully it does. Do you know, is there an end in sight, as the lawyers said?
Yeah, this has been going there 2 to 3 years. The other case has been going 6 years. The UFC do not want this Alia coming through because it changes it straight from the 4% to 40%.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is there's a bill being passed where there's only 6 of us suing them right now. When this bill's passed, it becomes 1,200. The fighters that were employed from 2010 to 2020 or 2019, it becomes 1,200 employees or whatever they earn. So if I earn like $8-9 million, whatever it is, plus the 1,200 other fighters that have got pay packets, so it becomes a $1 billion lawsuit.
Yeah, right.
And this is where it changes everything. So, I mean, like I said, this is the lawsuit I'm in as a personal one. I just was sick of dealing with cheaters and having an unfair fighting playing field. So, why should I go to fucking work, put up with these fucking juices that can't cut it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, shucks, I always look at them as average fighters. When they take the gear, puts them above average to where I am. And I'm not even cheating, I'm just fat. You know what I mean? That's how I see it all. So I was sick of it, and I wanted to do something about it, and this is the only way I could do it.
Yeah.
You know what the sad thing about it, this whole scenario was, after they pulled me from the card in Sydney, they tried to ask me to fight a guy. There was nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
Then I had to go through all these tests. I went to a 4-hour to see a doctor. It was all clear. They had to say you have to fly to Las Vegas. So, the funny is they pulled me from the fight show in Sydney, and it wasn't a doctor who pulled me off the card. It was a fucking lawyer. The lawyer pulled me off the card.
Is that when Rogan and that was saying shit? Oh, he's mumbling his words or whatever. Is that when that was sort of
I did an interview like.
They were fucking they chopped and changed the interview and just started talking shit to their own advantage.
Yeah, that's
what I took from it anyway.
How does a lawyer pull you off a fight?
Yeah.
How does a lawyer pull you? Is this a law court? No, this is a medical. It was supposed to be a doctor that pulled me off. Not only that, so they asked me to fight a guy named Josh Barnett. So you know who that is, right? So Barnett's a cheater. He's been caught many times. And I said to them, no, I don't want to do that because he's a cheater. They kept bugging me about it. I said, no. Then they said, okay. I said to them, okay, I'll do the fight if you put in a clause. The clause was, take off all his money, don't give it to me, just take it off if he's caught cheating. They said no. 2 days later, the guy pops. And they said, oh, well, the next guy that came to says, oh, we want you to fight us over him in Vegas. And I was like, that guy's another cheater. Can I put in the clause? No. And guess what they did? They sent me a letter, we're going to fire your black ass if you don't take this fight. I'm like, wow. Can you do that? Can you force someone to fight that they don't want to fight? The guy's cheating. That's what they did. They sent me a letter saying, motherfucker, if you don't fight, your black ass is getting fired. I'm like, wow. So what did I do? I took the fight and dropped the lawsuit. I had no choice.
Yeah, right. That's fucking insane. It's crazy the shit that happens behind the scene. And
people don't even know this. People don't know. A lot of people wouldn't even understand about how it works with the UFC, how they work. I mean, a lot of it.
Yeah, like, I remember when Conor smashed the fucking bus window and all that, and everyone was saying, Dana's put this together. Have you heard or experienced any that kind of thing going on, where they have done that sort of thing to hype up fights, or?
For like WWE, no, I haven't to be honest. But I know they're in cahoots. Vince McMahon and them are in cahoots. I know that.
Yeah. You hear it more and more now. I hear it from punters here saying UFC's becoming like a fucking WWE or a reality TV show where.
Well, they cross code, they cross their fighters cross code. They mix each. I got nothing wrong with wrestling, to be honest, at all. I did pro wrestling in Japan.
Yeah.
But
because they love you over there, don't you?
Yeah.
In Japan, yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of work over there in Japan. But I mean, I think they do cross code. I mean, Ronda's gone over to WWE.
Yeah.
Box come over to UFC. It just makes sense because it's business.
Yeah.
But I think keep the cheaters, the steroids, and out of the sport, which is a hard thing to do at the moment because the company, the UFC, is actually promoting it.
Yeah.
They're promoting steroid use. I mean, pure example, your mate, that dickhead John Jones. Remember that? remember that? What happens to that fool?
Hey man, anyone who gets into that scenario and cheats, especially in this game where it's life and death. It's a hard thing, man. It shouldn't be because you are putting people's lives at risk.
It's bad enough when you're cheating in a bike race, which we all know who did that. But when you're cheating where you could actually hurt some poor cunt badly.
But that's the end result. You do hurt them.
Yes.
If you are enhanced or something's gone wrong, you get that thing. I think with
What about the betting? I mean, if I bet fuck $100,000 on that fucker to win, and this motherfucker here's cheating, shouldn't I be able to get my money back?
Yeah, exactly.
But what happens when you do it? In the small print it says everything's void. It becomes a no contest. You can't get your money back.
Yeah.
It goes deeper.
They did that in Australia.
They gave the money back.
Yeah, after Brock.
Well, then it goes to show.
Brock Lesnar's fight, I think Sportsbet give all the money back to their punters.
What does that tell you?
After he was ripped with.
What does that tell you? They tell you as soon as they give the money back, you go, well, that means that these guys are wrong. They should.
Everyone give money back when they don't have to.
There's a lot of big punters, man. And everyone should say, we're gonna fucking sue this motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
They could sue him personally, to be honest.
Yeah.
That'll change the whole landscape. I mean, betting.
Well, they do investigations all the time in betting, so it's...
Investigations, then what happens in? It's like
they investigate.
They go through it and they wipe my ass with it and they come to this.
They sort of remind me of Big Tobacco back in the day. They used to come and say, I get professionals to say that smoking doesn't kill anyone. They find something. It sort of reminds me of that. UFC there. But, I can't believe the amount of cheating that fucking... goes on in it, and they get second chances.
That's a lethal sport, but cheating goes on in every sport. That's the saddest part of that is every sport's got cheaters in it.
Yeah, the difference with this one is the UFC promoter.
Yeah.
That's the difference right there.
And the sports people who are cheating are held to the godly up on the pedestal.
Yeah.
And then, we'll look at, some...
Well, they do it till they get hammered.
Who have come unstuck, they were a pedestal. And they got brought down after cheating and.
Lance Armstrong, for example, best
100%.
example. Made a foundation that made hundreds of millions of dollars, and then when he finally got brought down, because everyone close him, they all went down.
Yeah.
And then he just becomes a mockery, like Ben Johnson, like the rest of them.
Yeah.
A mockery.
Yeah.
But in the Olympics, they just cut their names off. They take their pictures. They take their medals. They castrate. They take everything from them.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Because I mean, what they're doing is they're taking away.
Well, you're tainting that brand, aren't you? Which is.
And they're taking away the livelihood of the people that came second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Yeah.
You're taking away these guys' kids' future and everything because you cheated. I look at it like that.
Yeah.
It's a different level of shall I say, crookery.
You're betraying the entire public's trust. Sports is like a fucking culture.
Yeah, because it says it's before war. I reckon sports is always good to have. We should actually get those guys fighting. I think we should get coronavirus versus the American Donald Trump. You get those two battling to start with. That'd be a good watch, wouldn't it?
Chinese flu.
Didn't
come from America.
You can do a 3-hour podcast talking about Trump. The shit that comes out of his mouth is fucking insane.
Do you guys believe about the elite families?
The what?
About the what?
The elitists, the 1%ers. Do you believe about the families actually running the world?
Yeah, I used to be right into that stuff.
In a sense,
I used to be right. I haven't looked at it for a couple of years before I have a little fella, but I used to be right into it. They just
I do a little bit, and that's why I think there's been such extreme measures with this coronavirus because I don't know. I should watch my words, but it is attacking people that would be in that 1%.
Isn't there on Netflix it's called The Family or something, and it goes in a documentary where all the big politicians in the world.
Not Friends.
It's called Family.
With Ryan.
It's called Family or something, or Secrets, the House Secrets or something like that.
It's called The Family.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's it?
Man.
A friend of mine told me about this like in 2001. But I met a guy about a month ago, 2 months ago, who actually worked for the Rothschild Bank. I was like, he had a card.
It's interesting when you see things come through, whether they're true or not. But you're putting things together in this crisis, and then you go, 12 or 20 of the the CEOs of major companies all step down at the same time.
Yeah,
And you're like, why would you all step down at one time? Like there's something.
willy-nilly at the moment to small businesses and shit, so everyone's going to be in debt when we come out the other side.
Yeah, and then they go, well, this person stepped into the NAB bank or whatever the companies they stepped into. They're only on $2 million now. They're not going to get their bonus other $2 million. And you're thinking, he stepped in. Old bud took 20 million or 200 million from whatever. It's just. And once it gets to the top, if you're not up the top, then you're on the bottom. It's sad.
I'm down with that 1% of business.
Because
It's crazy.
Even today's events with.
I'm in the top 1%, so I'm alright.
You're like your girlfriend.
that's his third line.
No, seriously, do you actually believe about these families?
Yeah, I used, like I said, I used to be right in, but I used to get pretty drunk and start late and watching them. I don't remember much about it. Yeah, the Rothschilds and...
What's the end game for this? Is it like the Hunger Games?
Oh shit, I don't know. I can't, if I get into it.
Rich
I only remember little bits, but there was a big... Fuck, are we going to go into this?
Microchipped?
There was a big thing. What is it? Is it the NWA? NWA or something? No,
No, that's
NWA.
NWA. It's not Compton. Ask you.
That's why Nate's leading the way. Straight out of Compton.
There's too many people in the world, so they want to call it right back, you know what I mean?
So they're culling.
That's a guarantee.
I like that. That's exactly what I think you're right too. So
That's what they think, and that's what
You
they
see people that are dropping out, resigning, selling shit, and then all this is going to plummet, and you feel like they're going to come in at the back end. And
You only got to look over history where people, that one person who's taken a stand against the world, against the
like Tupac, he's me against the world, you know.
Malcolm X, all these people who actually in history have stood up and said, I'm going to stand for this no matter what. Boom, something happened. It all goes against. There's lots of different things that everyone's got conspiracy.
It's Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was actually one of these said that about these families. Was it him?
Oh,
He talked about these families, about the economy and how they're running the economy and
yeah.
they need to change things.
yeah, he got popped in the back of the head at the fucking opera.
Yeah, I just, when it gets up to the top level of everything, if someone wants you gone, they just go, that's it, done.
How does it go again?
Filthy.
I'm joking. You filthy animal, you.
What's that? Let's get a positive subject. What's the positive subject? We're in training and it's been good. Newcastle.
Positive is you can only get AIDS once and then you're fucking clear, that's it.
Well, what we have been doing, I stole these questions off a show called Inside the Actors Studio before heroes get on the comments board and say I didn't create these questions. I'm freely admitting that we use them. But I was going to ask you each these questions, which this guy does it when he interviews actors and things like that. There's 10 questions. If you each want to give an answer, I'll go Rich then Mark. Yeah. What's your favourite word?
Favourite word? Filthy.
Fuck.
You probably answered another question there that we're coming to soon. What is your least favourite word?
Probably the C word in some ways.
Oh. COVID?
COVID-19.
Can't or?
Yeah.
Mark, what's your least favourite word?
Probably fear.
Fear. Rich, scared to hear the answer to this, but what turns you on?
Filthy.
What turns me on? What turns me on?
What doesn't
A lot of different things turn me on.
Name one.
Oh, jeez. Filthiness.
Yeah.
Oh, I go in the depths.
Alright.
Just in case children are listening.
What turns you on?
Of course, women turn me on.
Rich, what turns you off?
What turns me off is just fake people who just like leeches or fake people just like turn me off big time.
And cleanliness.
You can still be clean and still be filthy.
Yeah, it's
Better than the decile years, man.
Especially the filthy we know you're talking about. Yeah, no, I agree with that, brother. There's too much of it these days. Mark, what turns you off?
Probably pedophiles and narcissist people.
Yeah, solid. Fucking oath. Rich, what sound or noise do you love?
Ooh.
What was the noise, man?
I think serious wise, probably just me kids being happy, just their happiness. Outside of them, it's the ooh, filthy.
Mark, same question. What sound or noise do you love?
Like Richie, kids' noises to a certain point, then they get annoying, and yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Rich, what sound or noise do you hate?
What sound or noise do I hate? Just fake people's noise. that meaning the lies.
Just fake cunts.
Just fake. Just when they just talking shit all the time. It's fake.
Yeah. Mark?
What was the question again?
What sound or noise do you hate?
It's probably the noise of. I've had dreams about it too. It's like it's in movies, like when it's like hell. What is the noise of hell? What word do you call it? People are groaning and constant pain. There's a word for it. All that. There's a word for the whole lot. And that's the word that I don't like. Is
Brady,
like
you're a smart cunt. What's that word?
there's a word for it that they have. Like they say it's something when people they're like thousands and millions of people are just groaning in pain. There's a word for it. I forgot what it was. Anyway, that word, that thing right there.
Edit that one in for you, Mark.
Rich, what is your favourite curse word?
Favourite curse word would have to be fuck at the moment. I'm just like every second word. Fuck, filthy. I don't realise sometimes when I'm just saying it all the time. My kids are the one who pick me up on it. So
Yeah, they got a swear jar?
no, they just get money anyway. So. They don't worry about no jar.
Mark, what's your favourite curse word?
Same, probably fuck.
Fuck?
Fucking motherfucker. I'm always fucking.
Even the coffee shops.
Hey, that was not my fault.
Oh yeah.
Number 8, Rich. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Like to attempt, other than what I do now, which is nothing. Profession. I'd probably like to get more into probably professional punting.
Professional punting?
Oh, professional punting, more of like into a business type scenario, you know.
Yeah, right. So right now you're a bit of an amateur punter.
I'm an amateur punter. I get some good mail, but I'd love to know the ins and outs. If it's outside of coaching, because obviously coaching's my passion in my life, but. If I had a profession, because I just don't want to do the 9 to 5 work and slug it away.
That's why
So
we got you both on, because that's what we're looking for, people that think
and I don't know. Ever since I've just done coaching and pretty much work for myself, it's given me the freedom to do and travel wherever I want. So I'd probably punting would do the same. I'd do the professional punting, get the travel, get to learn different things of how the undermarket of gambling is.
Yeah. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I'm attempting it now. Probably business.
Yeah.
Just trying to be a businessman and try and make some businesses flourish. That's all,
Look, if you need any advice on what to do, I've failed a million times.
I don't have a problem with what to do. I know what I've got, what I'm planning on doing, but yeah. So I mean, there's no shortage of ideas to do it, but
100%. And now's a good time to start getting
Yes,
them in
start,
motion
yeah,
and get them ready to roll.
correct.
Number 9. What profession would you not like to do, Rich?
not like to do? Do something like sitting at the road traffic office. Like 9 to 5, just sitting there doing that. Actually, I'll change that. That would be the second worst, but Centrelink.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you imagine them poor cunts
Sit behind the Centrelink desk because I'd be just like, get out.
You might get to make some sorts now, but because everyone's
Have you sat in Centrelink lately? There's no sorts in there, but
Take your hats off to them people at the moment. They must be going through fucking. So, yeah, shout out to the
Centrelink ones sitting behind that desk and always looking for the first moment where you can go on stress leave, if that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no one walking in there happy. You're walking in
even the other day I had to go in there, obviously go and see because all the gyms and coaching's shut down. And one dude in there, I'm just sitting obviously 1-5 away from everyone, we're sitting there. And then one dude gets off the computer and he's effing, spitting on the floor. I'm just like, damn, that's bad. That's bad. And the security guards, you know, the poor dudes and the security guards, there's 3 of them. And, they probably, if you've done something in there and then you ran out of Centrelink, you know, the guys would run after you for 10 metres and then they'd be shot. You know, they put.
You got to be pretty dumb to go in there and put your fucking info in and then spit the dummy, because obviously they know who the fuck you are.
I don't think they care. They care. You're fucked. Like,
But the crew that go in there don't care about too much because everyone's in a panic state. So all they want is money,
struggling
to survive. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
correct.
blessed with my circumstances that's at the moment, where I don't have to sit there and for hours and hours and hours, you know. So I raised my 2 kids and I get some links.
And that's the goal of being self-employed, isn't it?
I'm self-employed, but then, you know, I still had to go to Centrelink, but because I got my kids full-time, they already got all my information, so I just keep flowing the way I do, so.
Yeah. All right, Mark, what profession would you not like to do?
Probably what I've done already. Probably the fucking shit jobs that I just thought, fuck, I'm miserable, and you know, I've been happy for the last over 20 years being a punching bag, but so I mean, what I did before.
Yeah, fair enough. And number 10, which is our final one. Rich, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Your mum's over there. She's like, thanks, brother. Genie!
It's a good one. I've heard that question asked. I've watched this kind of 1,000,000 times. I've never heard a good one like that.
Yeah, that's all I need him to say is, where's mum? I'll say, cool, bro. I'll go and sit with mum for the rest of my time. That's all I need to do, man.
That's awesome. And Mark, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
There he is!
You'd be pretty stoked. You probably would say something like that.
There he is! That's the way. No shaking, just doing that,
And well, to wrap it up, just because we sort of, the concept of this is, you know, interviewing people, interested people, self-employed, people that have done their own thing outside the old 9 to 5. Have you each got a piece of advice you give people, you know, whether they're entering the fight game, they're in the business world, they want to work for themselves, they want to think outside the box, or just advice in general?
For me, it's probably over the years is don't solely rely on other people to do things for you or get you to where you want to get to, because they'll go to a certain extent and then take what you've got, and then you won't see them again. So probably just rely on yourself, but also take knowledge along the way. Don't just rely on one person or persons to get you to where you need to get to. It'll never happen.
Yeah. Mark?
It's probably just try to surround yourself with the best possible people to help you to get to where you want to be. That's basically pretty much it. I think it's like you hang around fleas, you're gonna fucking that sort of idea.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Cypress Hill rap superstar song, you know? Yeah. Where they say, be careful of people you surround yourself. There's a lot of fucking sharks.
Yes.
You know, when you're winning, they're there for you to take everything, and you're losing,
Fair with the
they
friends,
lose your
right?
number real fucking quick.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, no dramas then. We'll wrap it up, and thanks heaps for coming in, guys. It's been great fun, and yeah. Sorry about this fucking making up lines.
Hey, shout out to the punters. The punters out there, man.
Yeah, the punters club if they exist.
Who's the punters club anyway?
You filthy cats.
I'll message him on Facebook.
Yeah.
How many in the punters club? Is it like 30 or
There's like 10 of us, but I always because they're all into horses and shit, and I usually get on and just bet on Benji Marshall to be first try scorer every single round.
Have you seen that? Did you follow my Instagram?
No, but I will.
Have you seen? Have you seen one? Have you seen this one here, right here?
Social distancing in front, but here comes COVID-19.
So that's something I bet on, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with the horses. Apparently we own a couple of horses or something, but maybe it's beyond my plans too.
Panic buying.
Distancing at the 350. COVID-19 on the outside is looking infectious. The world is absolutely cooked. COVID-19 goes to the front. 200 to none. Wash your hands to the outside. COVID-19 in front by a cough. Wash your hands, it's trying hard. It's COVID-19 in front. Wash your hands, it's coming out. It's COVID-19 holding on. COVID-19 is too good. The deadly virus has fucked the world.
Money on wash your hands. Alright, we'll finish it off on that note. Alright, thanks very much, guys.
Pleasure, boys.
Stay safe. Yeah, I can't wait to watch you in the ring again, brother.
It's going to be a long time coming. I think we're all fighting right now against the fucking COVID-19 bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit. I think it's there's a lot of people dying, but you know, I don't know if
It's serious stuff.
it's serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this gave everyone a little bit else to take your mind off how fucked up everything else is, and that's sort of the goal of the thing, you know, keep it light-hearted. We normally take the piss out of the people on, but I didn't want to do that, obviously.
Me and Chegs usually we're always like discussing how we can get ourselves out of trouble, and last night we had a big long chat. We're like, fuck, how can we not get ourselves in trouble tomorrow?
Thanks for having us on, or having me on anyway. So appreciate the time.
Yeah, cheers, cheers.
It was a nice little yarn.
Yeah.
Thanks. And yeah, we'll put it up on all our platforms, and yeah, stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, damn straight.
Easy.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.